Alright. Hey everybody, I'm gonna be doing some streaming for Retro Spaceball again. This time we're gonna be making a boss, which is pretty cool. This will be the first boss for Retro Spaceball. I also want to mention that it's a working title. There was some confusion. Yeah, I mean, I've got a font and stuff like that, but I'm also working with other titles. One was, well, let's see what the art was. There we are. And here. Alright, so here we have Super Rocket Ball Extreme 2001. So that was some feedback from someone online. They're like, hey, I don't like the title. And I'm like, hey, yeah, thanks. You got a better idea? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, awesome. So it's, you know, just testing it out. Obviously, I'm not positive on it. I'm not sitting on it, but it's just another example. Eventually, I think I'm gonna make like a poll of sorts to put on a few different sites, and I mean, I need to make a better image and stuff. Still, I mean, you can see like the varieties of pixels and stuff. Like, if you look here, this stuff here is really sharp, and this stuff here is really blurry, and it's because they're all outputted at different pixel depths and scaled. So, and I did that just for the sake of being rapid. I could very easily just export a better resolution of this pixel art, and it won't look so jaggy when we get zoomed in like that. Alright, and here is the other promo art. As you can see, that a lot of the art aspects are the same, but the title is different. Retro Spaceball, and the font's different. But you know, just a work in progress. Alright, so here we're going to make the boss. So what I did was I went to the last level. I went to the last level and I just extended the top. It used to end right here, and I extended it here, and now here these are going to be the weak points, and I'll probably put them up a little bit, something like that. Yeah, and then the plan is to make like boundaries on either side of all that, and then have the turrets come down. So you have all of this space to be bounced around, and I'll probably move some of these guys in there, and maybe scrunch some of this stuff down a bit. I haven't done the art for the targets. When I say target, that's going to be the spot that you hit, right? So there's going to be a little triangular symbol of like a fire, you know, like a hazardous symbol, so that way you know that, like, hey, maybe if I hit that enough times it'll explode. And I think, you know, maybe 5 times on each or something is going to be enough to explode it, depending on how hard I want to make the boss. And then there's going to be, you know, 3 turrets, and I'm thinking I'm going to have them, you know, not all shoot at once, maybe like maximum of 2 shoot at once, but then have, like, you don't know, like, random if it's going to shoot 1, or if it's going to shoot 2, or if it's going to shoot on the left or the right, or if it's going to shoot 3 bullets or 2 bullets, you know, a lot of random in it. And maybe like a color indicator or some type of movement indicator, so like once you catch that it's not completely random, that it gives you some type of you know, heads up, so that way, you know, like, oh, I saw it do that before, I know what to do now, I'm going to try to do this and see if that works, you know. And that's important with games, I think. Alright, so I haven't drawn that yet, but I did draw some of the other art. So let's put some of the other art in there. We'll go to enemy and we'll just make a new folder inside enemy and we'll call it boss 1, just to keep things separate. Alright, so we'll find my pixel art folder. And I think I put it in. There it is. Okay, so here's the turret base. And then I must have not exported the actual turret. So first we'll bring this in there. And then I'm going to find the Piskel file. And we're going to export that and do the same thing. Might be a good idea to throw on some music since I won't actually be playing the game that much. So I'm gonna start with that, and just give me a quick second to find something to put on here, and it should not take too long at all. I was really digging that Humanzy stuff. It's been a long time since I listened to it and I got a crap load of it. So let's see what we got here. If I remember correctly, this one was pretty entertaining. Our friend Oliver, who went to high school with us out in the country, you know, about 45-50 minutes from Chicago, like south of Chicago, like way down south, cornfields. And you know, he was living up in the city and coming back, and he's a musician, and me and him were both DJs, so I think on this he plays with my DJ stuff, which is fun. So we'll just have to. It sounds like someone's playing guitar. Now I should plug in my headphones before I make any nonsense reverb here. There we go. Alright, so let's get to work here. We got our Piskel open. This is free software, open source, so super useful. It doesn't do everything, but it does a lot. It does quite a bit. Alright, so we're going to import. What am I looking for? Turret base? No. I want to go up a level. There it is, turret 1. This is what I was looking for. We're going to export this. Alright, so that's exported. We're going to bring up that pixel art folder. And there it is. So we'll drag that into that folder as well. And we got everything else. Alright, so here we're going to select both of them. I'm going to change the texture type to sprite, 2D, and UI. These are all going to be multiple. We want the full rect. Clamp is good. We want point, no filter. Bilinear, and we want the quality to be none because that's the compression. We don't want compression. Alright, so I hit apply. It's taking its sweet time apparently. Oh, no, okay. It's not. I'm taking my sweet time. Alright, so now that I'm going to go into both of them and make sure that the sprites are set up here. Which they're not. So we're going to slice it, automatic, and I think it was 128. That work? Yeah. Alright, so that's 128. And I think this one is 128 as well. And what we're doing is we're just slicing so that way we can animate them. Because as you can see, they blink. Alright, so we'll apply that. And now here we're just gonna bring in a empty game object. And we're just gonna scale it up. Everything's really big in my game to make the physics fit. And let's see here. About that size, I would say. Maybe a little bit bigger. I don't know. We don't want it to be too big because then it'll look funny. Because it's only 128 pixels. Alright. Okay, so we got our cube, and this is going to be the boundary. So we're going to leave that like that. So it's not a trigger. And then we're going to throw a texture on there. So I'm going to make a 2D object, a sprite, parented to the cube there, and we'll rename the cube. We'll call it turret base. Now you don't have to use a cube. You could use a mesh render, a mesh collider, or whatever you want. But for the simple purposes, I mean, why add more to the game when we don't need to? So I'm gonna throw that texture on here, and let's see. Now here I'm gonna start with the second one, and I'll show you why. Oh, and we want this mesh renderer off. Alright, so now that we've got that sprite, we want to make an animator for it because we're going to animate it. So, need to create the animator controller, and we'll call it turret base. And throw it on the parent, and then we need to make the actual animation here. So, let's see, we'll go back here and make a new folder for it. And we'll just call it boss anims. So in boss anims, we're going to make a new animation, and we're going to call it turret base active. Alright, so now we've got turret base active and we've got animator controller. So we've got the animator controller on here. We can drop the animation on there now, and now. Did that work? Did I miss? I think I missed. Try that again. There we go. Alright, so now there's an animation on it, and it's empty. So what we're going to do next is we're just going to change the sprite while it's recording. So we're going to change it back to the first sprite, which is exactly why I changed it to the second sprite. So now we can change it to the second sprite. And the third sprite. And as you can see, it's red. That means I'm still recording. And the fourth sprite. And then what I do here is I copy and paste the last sprite just to make sure that everything's even. So when we play it, it's evenly spaced. And that's the speed that I like. So we'll leave it there. And that's turret base number 1. So what we can do is we can just duplicate that. Duplicate it again. Now as you can see, if I hit play, they don't stay animated, and that's because I need to hit loop there, and then they will. Alright, so now they're blinking just like everything else. Cool. Alright, so those are the turret bases, and you can't go through them, so there's going to be like turrets, and the turrets are going to be indestructible. You're going to have to destroy these things to make them inactive. So if you destroy this one will become inactive, and these two will still work. And then if you get this one, all three become inactive, vice versa. And when you destroy both of them, they disappear, and you can then shoot the ball between and get up to the goal. Simple enough, right? So next we need the turret. So we're going to do pretty much the exact same thing here. But let's do it with the sphere. So we're just going to make a 3D object, and we're going to throw in the sphere. And then we're going to blow it up until it fits inside there, or so. Alright, so there's one game object. And the sphere is not super necessary, except if maybe it hit like where it's sticking out. But what I'm going to do on top of that is I'm going to make a child cube. So we're going to take the cube, we're going to center it here, and we're going to blow that up as well. About to, well, like that size, I think. I don't know, it'll be easier to see once we get the sprite in there. And then I'm just going to do one of these. Alright, so now, well, that's really big. We don't need it to be that big. Probably more like that. I don't know. Again, we'll see once we get the art in there. So let's get the art in there. We're going to put the cube inside the sphere. We'll call this turret cent for center. And then we are going to add a 2D sprite. And we're going to throw that in there as well. And we're going to find our turret. Did I miss it? Oh. I thought I put it in there. What's going on with that? Let's check out our sprites. Where'd they go? Images, sprites, enemy, boss. Yeah, it's there. Oh, we didn't. Did we not split it? No, we did. But oh, we didn't hit slice. Oh, wait, that's not right. I don't know what happened there. I thought we did that. Maybe I didn't hit slice. I could have sworn that I selected them though. Yeah, you want to make sure you don't accidentally drag them like I just did. But I just did it again. I mean, it's okay to click on them, but just don't drag on them. Okay, so now it's there. I don't know why that was being like that. Must have missed it. Alright. So here I'm going to do the same thing, grab the second one. And blow that up. Or something. Not seeing it. Alright, and that's way too big, but at least we can see it. So as you can see, it's coming together. host. Yeah, we would just like mic the room back in the day. Oh, but that was the end of that recording. Let me find another recording here. See what this one's all about. Well, let's go to part 1 first. 12/2/2011. So we can actually tighten this up a bit. I'm gonna say like halfway in between, because I don't feel like making a new collider or a mesh for any of that. I think this will work, and we're gonna make it really wide though, just in case the ball is like not directly there. Okay, so that should work, and then we can kill the mesh renders on those. So as you can see, the collider is there, but the mesh renderer is not. So yeah. And for now, we'll just use the same turret. I did draw them to be different, but I haven't made the art. So once we make the art, we'll just insert it. Or maybe we'll keep them the same. I don't know, it kind of looks visually pleasing this way. Oh, you know what? I didn't animate it yet, so let's do that first. So we need to find the animations, animator controllers, and we need to make a new one. And we'll call it boss turret. Well, actually, let me see how this is put together. Got it. Alright, so if I put the turret inside the turret base, I guess we don't need to. I'll just leave it outside of it. Alright. I already made the animator controller. Where did it go? Boss turret. Oh. Okay, so we're gonna put boss turret on turret send. Wait. This one shouldn't be there. Okay. Put that there. Find the animation. Boss anims. Create animation, and this one will be turret active. Alright, we're gonna throw turret active on turret sent. So it's got that there. We're gonna hit record. We're gonna change the sprite to the first one, and the second one. So this is that we're listening to. This is Humanzy. This was a band that I was in with Frank Smith before I moved. And this is me on bass and him on drums. And it's all improv. Alright, so that's working. Let's see what they look like together. Oh, you know what? I didn't loop the animation again. Now, feel like it might be better if they were looped at the same, and I'm pretty sure I use the same colors. Let's see here. It's a little bit different. So what we'll do is we'll just switch these, and that should make up for most of the difference. We'll try that again. So it's still different, but it's got the same type of like pulse thing going. The thing is that this is blinking white twice. If we take a look at this one, it's only blinking white once. But it doesn't look bad. In fact, it kind of has a rhythm because it's a different object than that, and they, you know, they're connected but the same. Alright. And now we can duplicate. Alright. So we're gonna need something to block over there. Or probably just something underneath there. Yeah, that might be a better idea. As you can see, or maybe you didn't notice, but they're not completely symmetrical, but I don't know. That's something I can deal with later. This is still alpha. The polish is a long ways from perfect, so I'm alright with that. And these are just going to prevent the ball from going around. Alright, so let's try playing the game a little bit. If anything, just for a break away from the work aspect of it. Because I'm about to draw the target for the enemy. And the sound effect gets a little intense here. And my plan is to change it to more of a boring sound, like a spring, you know? And probably have it quite a bit quieter than how it is now. Of course, the game's background music is muted right now because I didn't start it at the beginning of the game. I just jumped to this level. Little things like that need to be polished, obviously. And this is the last level of the game. Not that it's the most difficult, but it's one of the most difficult. And it's not going to stay the last, it's just that it's the last one that I've made so far. This is be level 6. Yeah, the sound can definitely become an issue when you're in early development, and a lot of times I'll start making the sound too early. I'll start getting sick of it, and then I'll mute it, and then I'll continue developing without sound because I'll get sick of it, and then yeah. But it's a good idea to play with it just to see if you get sick of it, because if you get sick of it too soon, you got to do something about it. Alright, so here I didn't finish the level here, so the ball just kind of flew away. So it's a good thing I tested that, because that's something I need to do. Alright, so if I scroll up and look for the player bounds, you can see they just kind of end there when they're supposed to go up. So all I gotta do is select all of it and just drag it up. Simple as that. So if I were to play it straight through again, I wouldn't have that problem. But as you can see, I made it to the top here. There would be a couple more bouncy guys, maybe a bad guy or two, or maybe I'll try repositioning one of the portholes. The portholes give you pickups, just like the enemies do. So it would make the boss a little bit easier. So yeah, the next step is to make these flammable, because right now they're just kind of hanging out. And then we'll make a script that says when the ball hits it gives it damage. If it gets so much damage, then it destroys and animates. Alright, so let's go back into Piscal, and we're going to just delete this, delete that, delete that, delete that, and then save as a new file, before I forget to do that, of course. And we'll call it boss target. There's probably a better word for it, but target works. That's what I think of. Alright, so now we've got our blank slate. We're gonna make a box. We don't want it to be black. We want it to be like a dark, what do we want? An orange. A reddish orange, yes. But dark. That's what we want. Right, so like a brown. Alright, so this brown is gonna be like that. Yeah. And then we're gonna use the pen tool. Well, first let's use the mirror tool here. And we'll just kinda find where the you know, I should be drawing this in the center just to make things easier. So let's find the center. Easiest way to do that is just to draw a line in this software. You hold shift, you don't have to worry about keeping it straight. Alright, so there's our center. The mirror tool also helps if you want to make sure you know exactly where your center is. The shift tool makes it go on all angles. Alright. So this is what we're working with. We actually want it a little bit. So let's get that back out. There. No. There. That's what we want. Alright, so here, well, hold on. That's what we want. Alright, so I'm gonna Draw a line like that. Draw a line like that. Draw a line like that. So I'm trying to make it look more like a cylinder, like a tank, so that way it looks like something that might explode. Alright, so let's get the mirror tool out and we'll just fix it up a bit. And that looks pretty decent. I feel like the angle could be better. So let's see what else I can do with that. I kind of like that. Yeah, I actually kind of like how it's juxtaposed too. So I'm going to do that on both sides. Oh, I want the top to remain. Then what I'm going to do here, just gonna draw it on this side and it'll draw it on the other side. So as you can see, did I miss? Alright. Yeah, that doesn't look that great now that I've done it. Alright, so let's try. I feel like it's gotta be cylindrical. I mean symmetrical. So we'll just do that again. Let's see how that looks. Did I miss again? Jeez. That's looking the best so far. Alright, so the next thing we want, that's not symmetrical. That's symmetrical. Alright. Alright, so that looks pretty good. Maybe another line here. I like that, yeah. What's going on there? Oh, that works. Okay. So we've got a general shape down, and I kind of like the hexagonal or polygonal look. can do next is make like a circle to give it the appearance of being cylindrical. So I think that looks about good. We could, yeah, maybe that's even better. And if you try to imagine what the 3D structure would look like as if this was a wireframe, that kind of helps. So that's good. I'm going to delete one side of it. And we're just going to drag it over a bit because I want it like right on that ledge. And I wonder what that would look like. Oh, shit. Oh, that was weird. That was a clipboard from the last time I used the software. Wasn't expecting that. Alright, so that looks better. So that's gonna be like the label. Alright. Oh. And we've got our label. So now we need a logo for the label. We kind of want the center back, so on a separate layer, we're just gonna have one that we keep. Alright, so there's our center. We're gonna want it to be big, right about there, I would say, to about there. And then let's see what that looks like. It's a little high, but I like it. Perfect. Alright, we're gonna thicken that up a bit. Doesn't seem to be symmetrical, strangely. Yeah, you can tell when I'm playing the drums because I wasn't very good. Hey, I'm using the mirror tool. So the shape is difficult because it's not mathematically square with the pixel depth. If I followed the same, it would be too, yeah. So it's got to have that little bit of. Oh, that's too far. It's not completely even, but when you zoom out, it has that effect, and it's symmetrical. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's symmetrical. Alright, so then we need to make like a symbol inside. That looks pretty good. And more of a cut there. Perfect. Oh, somehow we got missing pixels. Whoa, somehow we got missing tool. Alright, so we got our thing. It'd be nice to have like some pipes coming out of it, so let's do that. We'll start with a circle. And I'm just gonna fill it in. And then I'm going to oh, I messed that up. There we go. Copy. And I'm just gonna do one of these, just like that. Alright, so I'm going to give that like an orangish. Actually, this could be all four sides, couldn't it? Oh. Alright, and we'll give that orange everywhere else as well. Take the orange up a notch. Oh, doing it again. There we go. Oh, too far. That looks pretty cool. We're gonna go up just a little bit more. then we're going to start going back down. Alright, so we got our tubes. Probably do another. Alright. Maybe that's too dark there. There we go. Perfect. Oh. Not perfect. Whoa. What the hell is going on there? Oh, it's because I'm holding down the shift button. Okay. So I actually kind of want this outer side to be like a grayish red. Strange as that sounds, I want it to look like metal, and gray tends to have that metal. Oh, about there maybe. Using the mirror tool. Alright, that's coming together. too saturated. And that's too light. That's just a little bit too dark. That's just a little bit too light. I think we have it. Yeah, that'll do. Alright, more tunage. So this is me on bass again. I like it. That looks cool. It's got like a rust feel to it. Alright, but for this label, I want it to be like more like saturated, but not way saturated. Well, saturated but not way light. Okay, so let's try that. Oops. Looks pretty good. Alright, I want to do like a stripe. And like silver. Alright, so there's our silver stripe that you might see on the side. Wrong tool. Alright, so another. Yeah, I like that. And I kind of like that color too, so let's try see what that looks like on the whole thing. It's just not silver enough. and they should have something that blinks. So that way if you don't see it right away, you're like, hey, what's that? Like that shape. I'm gonna put it on new layers so I don't have any issues filling it later. Wait, did I put it on that layer? I did, okay. Never mind, I'll just use white. That will work. So we can get rid of this layer now, we don't need that. That layer's empty. Alright, so that looks pretty good. The gray could use some something. There's shading. Thought I was using the line tool, but that works. One more shot. There we go. Make it look like it's got some depth. I like that, and then we're gonna darken it and do a couple of those. Is that too dark? Maybe like a bright yellow on the inside of the fire. Like a ochre, bright ochre. I like that. I feel like it needs like reflective lines across it. Let's try that on another layer. we're gonna change the alpha to like a third. That looks great up here. I like that. Definitely looks like it's reflective. Maybe just one more layer of gray on the inside. Just a little bit wider. It's too light. But maybe if we went just a little bit darker and then did another row. Oops. Oh, it's not dark enough. Alright, but now this one's, yeah, it's a little confused. Alright, so this is way too dark. We're gonna lighten that up. It's still too dark. Lighten it up a little bit more. That looks pretty good, actually. No, it's still too dark. Alright, and then this is still too light. Perfect. Alright. Now if that doesn't read shiny canister of explosive, I don't know what does. Could do another layer of that yellow. Well, that sounds like Mike Stover. I think he just showed up during the practice and was like, "Hey guys," they're like, "Yeah, jump in." Kinda miss those days. Quite a bit, actually. So I do like that. It's a little bit too realistic for a label, but this is a video game, so I'm alright with that. These need some type of darkness around them. Just a little bit lighter than that. Perfect. Okay, now we're gonna animate it. very simply just throw color on the white. We want it to blink red. We're gonna copy that frame and we're gonna make it turn yellow, and then and then black. Well, not black, but this really dark color. Well, we'll go a little darker. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so now it's like, hey, that might explode. I like it. Alright, cool. We're gonna save it. I think I just hit the regular save button. There we go. Alright, we're gonna export it as PNG. Just throw it in the regular folder there. And then we're gonna jump back into Unity. We're gonna find our pixel art. There it is. We're gonna throw it into the images boss folder. Did I just put it in the boss animation? No? I got it there. Alright. We're gonna select it. We're going to choose 2D and UI, multiple, full rect, clamp, point, bilinear, none. We're gonna go to the sprite editor. We're gonna go to grid by cell size. We're gonna change it to 128, 128, and there we have it. All of our sprites are laid out. We're gonna hit apply. Got these all set up here. Alright, so now we just need to put it on our objects. Now this is gonna be the collider. We'll just make that a bit bigger maybe. I don't know, we'll fit it to the art, and then we'll fit the level to the art as well. So what we need to do then, let's see, why is that in there? Where's this one? So that needs to be next to that one. Alright, we're gonna throw a 2D sprite on it. On either one. Doesn't really make a difference. We're gonna double click on cube, then click on that, and move to view. We're going to change our sprite so we can see what it is. We've got somewhere in here. There it is. Alright. Got that. We're gonna make it big enough so we can see it. Let's just put it at 1, 1, 1. Wait, what happened there? Get out of there. That's what we want. Alright, so now I'm going to put it in the parent. Actually, it could be scaled down just a bit. So it fits. Perfect. Alright, so now this will be a little bit wider. Oh. Alright, unparent it, change the collider size. Alright, so what we're going to do here is we're going to duplicate it. We're going to rename this shit so it doesn't get too confusing. So this is going to be targ trig zone. And this one's gonna be targ collider. Alright, and then that is going to be, wait, that's targ collider 2. Back, let's just get rid of that one. Let's just start on the side. It'll be targ collider. Alright, so this one is not going to have a mesh runner, and this one is going to get bigger, and it's going to be a trigger, and it's going to lose its mesh runner. So what a trigger does is it makes it so it can interact with the on trigger enter or exit or stay function. Excuse me, which is built into Unity and very simple to use. Alright, so the collider is not going to be able to pass through. So what we can do then is we can make that collider disactivate when it's got hit enough times, and every time it hits this, which sticks out just a little bit, it's going to activate the hit function, which I obviously haven't written yet, but that's what I want. So let's animate that. Well, first let's throw it all together. Let's give it a parent object. So, well, we'll parent it to the trigger zone because that doesn't ever need to disappear. The collider, well, it doesn't need to disappear, but it will become disactivated, and this works. Okay, so we've got that. We're gonna make the animator for it. It'll be boss targ we'll just call it active. That's a folder. I'll just call it boss anim control. And we'll throw that one in there too, and here we go. Boss animator controller, we're gonna call it boss targ active. Alright, so we're going to throw that on our parent object, which, let's call it that, targ. So I'm going to give it a better name. We'll call it boss targ, since it's the parent. I don't want to lose it, or have to go searching for it up here. We're going to throw our animator on it, and we need to make an animation or an animation for it. So get our boss anims. We're gonna make a new one. We're gonna call it target. Yeah, I guess we don't need boss there. It's in the boss folder. Target active. We're gonna loop that, so we don't have to go back. All right, we got that. Let's put our animation controller boss target. I just put it on there. Oh, it's already on there. I need to put the animation on. Wrong one. Target. Alright, so here we have our target. We can play with the children now. Alright, and then what happened there? Yeah, alright, so copy, drag it to here, and paste. And now, cool. So let's see what that looks like all together. And that looks great. I like it. it blends in, but not enough where you wouldn't know to try to hit it. Alright, so let's make a duplicate. Oh. There's our duplicate. Let's see if we can just quickly... Oh, that changed the height. Alright. And what we can do here... Well, let's get them together here. Alright, so now that they're next to each other, we're going to grab the sprites and we're going to push them back. So that way, as you can see, everything's got a ordering layer, essentially. So now it'll sit behind the turret bases. Cool. So it looks like something, you know. I mean, it looks a little scary. Alright. Cool. So then the next thing would be to make those things explode. And we need the turrets to look. Let's see, we're about an hour and 20 minutes into the stream. Well, I think I'm going to take a little break. Getting a little hungry. And yeah, I'm going to take a break and I'll be back later and we'll finish this boss. I'll make sure to do it on stream because it's pretty cool. Alright, well, have a great day and thanks for watching. Bye.